All right, YouTube, what is going on? It is Zaya here from Zaya&TheSteelers back with another video. As we approach the end of the season, coming down to our last game, we got to talk about the Steelers, and there will be no concession speeches today because the season's not over, man. We're going to win this game against Baltimore, and then the things that are going to happen are going to happen. So if you guys enjoy Steelers content or you enjoy NFL content in general and end up enjoying this video, be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, all that fun stuff. What a ride it has been, man. It's crazy that here we are in the last week of the season, and despite all of the talk, despite all of the drama, despite everything that has happened, we are in the exact same position that we typically are in with the last week of the season. We need to win, and we need someone else to win, and we need all this stuff to happen, bruh. 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, we were in prime position to secure at least a wild card spot. I even think we were kind of competing for the division at one point. And we know how things went. Kenny Pickett goes down, Mitch comes in, Mitch goes out, and Mason Rudolph is in. And Mason Rudolph has just been absolutely tearing shit up. The run game has just been absolutely tearing shit up. We're down to what, our seventh string linebacker at this point, and the defense is still, for the most part, tearing shit up. Nick Herbig with a strip sack last week. Alex Highsmith has been playing really good. TJ Watt, Defensive Player of the Year, arguably. Like, we're just having a crazy season. On top of that, Minkah Fitzpatrick, not only just a great safety in general, but Minkah Fitzpatrick has missed a ton of time. But that did not stop him from getting voted into the Pro Bowl. Let's get a gunshot for our Pro Bowler, Minkah Fitzpatrick. There's been a bunch of talk I've seen kind of on Steelers Twitter and just discussions among other, fan bases with Minkah getting into the Pro Bowl. Maybe he didn't have the games put in or whatever. He's missed a lot of time due to injury. But as a Steelers fan, this is get back for Madden, bro. This is get back because they jinx us with the ratings. They don't give us the proper ratings in Madden. So guess what? Minkah's going to the Pro Bowl, baby. I'm sorry if there's another safety out there, but it's over, bro. Minkah is going to the Pro Bowl. He deserves it. I think TJ, I don't know if TJ made it. I don't have the exact list up off the top of my head, but I do know Minkah was kind of a talking point just because of how much time he's missed. But that just ties into the fact of what a season it has been, bruh. And like I mentioned earlier at the start of the video, this isn't going to be a concession speech video. This isn't going to be oh man, oh, what a year, man, because we still got time. We still got hope, man. What else? There's been a situation this week too that I didn't necessarily get to talk about the most. Kind of out of personal choice, I guess. I did make a video about it, but I ended up not uploading it because I just thought it was kind of redundant, kind of dumb. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to talk about it now, as I didn't upload it last time. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, there was the Kenny Pickett situation of him allegedly telling Mike Tomlin or the coaches or whatever that he didn't want to play, or he didn't want to dress if he was going to be the backup, like he wasn't going to be the backup. And then, Mark Madden tweeted about it. Other people tweeted about it. Kenny Pickett came out and, confirmed that, hey, that's not true. I don't know why you guys are saying this. Really, we're at the point now. We're in the last week of the season. There is, low key to the lowest of keys. Like, I get it. But there is no reason to be talking about Kenny Pickett at this point in life. We got to be talking about Mason. We got to figure out how we're going to get these, 11 people on offense, this 11 personnel offense that has been absolutely turning the fuck up. We need to figure out how to get into the playoffs. It starts with a win against Baltimore. We need Tennessee to beat the Jaguars, I believe. And I have a tweet up here that Ian Rappaport is saying Trevor Lawrence doesn't seem like he's in a great position to play currently. So that's, a W sign for us. Once again, we need the Titans to win to get in, or we need the Dolphins to beat the Bills, I believe. I believe that's another situation of how we get in. Or on top of all of that, there is a possibility of if we lose and then the Dolphins win and the Titans win and maybe even another team wins, then we can still get in regardless. But it is a 1% chance. We really got to take care of business here against the Ravens. And as you can see from the rule out, this list right here, shout out to Dale Lally. They're resting a bunch of players, man. The Ravens have secured the #1 seed. They have secured the AFC North, and they're resting against us. They want to give their players a break. We've done well against the Ravens over the past years. I believe we're 6-1 since 2020, the one game where, Mitch is playing, whatever. And even this year, we didn't necessarily beat the brakes off them or whatever. We really maybe shouldn't even have won. But, it's Big Zay and the Steelers, not Zay and the Ravens. So we kicked the Ravens' ass last time we played them, man. Kenny Pickett destroyed them. And so, we got another chance to play their backups. And on top of this too, which is amazing, is this game is on Saturday, and we have to wait until Sunday, I believe, for the rest of the games to play out. And so, if we lose, it's not necessarily over, but it's necessarily over. You know what I mean? So if we lose, don't even watch football on Sunday. But if we win, man, that anxiety rolling into Sunday is going to be tough from, our game to, that point. It's going to be tough. We're going to be thinking about it. But I'm like, guys, I don't know. I don't know if you've seen the videos from, weeks ago. I was completely down. I didn't think there was any hope. But Mason, man, the way Mason Rudolph has come in and the way our offense has looked these past 2 weeks, like, bro, don't let us get to the playoffs, man. That's all I'm going to say. Don't let us get in, man, because we've already beaten Baltimore in a way, in a way we've beaten Baltimore. That's the number 1 seed. Number 2 seed, maybe Kansas City at this point in life. Maybe Miami. Am I forgetting a team there? I can't think of right now the number 2 seed off the top of my head. Maybe Jacksonville. But either way, like, I like our chances against every single team in the playoffs. Now, saying all that to say, we are a team that at one point lost to the Houston Texans. We got absolutely smoked by the Houston Texans. But that was a completely different time period, man. Like, from where we are now, like, I don't even think Broderick was really playing at that point. I think we were still playing games with Joey Porter Jr. at that point in life. Like, with how we've looked these past 2 weeks, we're running the football downhill. Naj and Jalen Warren they're just absolutely flying. The defense is doing enough. Shit, we won a shootout last week, low key, against the Seahawks too. The Seahawks are competing. The Seahawks, they're trying to make the playoffs as well. And to me, like, we came up with the big defensive play at the end. I mentioned Nick Herbig got that strip sack. Like, that happened. But for the most part, it was a shootout. We were scoring touchdowns. We had 3, I believe. Could have had 4. Naj could have had 3 touchdowns, but he even went down at like the 5 to kind of run out the clock. Just, selfless player, unselfishness by Naj, ultimate leader guy. Yeah, whatever you want to say about Naj, man. Naj is him. When Naj is running the ball good, like, I don't think just visually, you can see the Jalen Warrens, you can see the Isaiah Pacheco's. Shout out to Isaiah, big Isaiah. You can see those kind of running backs for like the quick motion, like, wow, they're running so fast, they're moving so hard, they're going so hard, right? So like you have that, cool. But when Naj is running the ball effectively, when Naj is ripping 5 to 8 to 10 yards per carry, to me, there is not a single running back in the league that just is visually, aesthetically, this looks the best, There is not another running back in the league that looks better than Naj when Naj is having a day, man. So shout out to Naj. Shout out to Jalen Warren even. Jalen Warren, he had that touchdown on against Seattle. He had pretty much juking Devin Bush, pretty much juking their whole secondary, whole middle linebackers. Like, guys, and then Mason Rudolph, we go back to Mason. We've talked about it so much over the past 2 weeks. We go back to Mason. He is hitting all of the throws, man. There, that throw to George Pickens against the Seattle. You guys know what throw I'm talking about, too. That throw to George Pickens where he's, like, literally flat-footed almost. He's literally standing still and just is chucking it. Like, boy, man. I said we don't got to talk about Kenny Pickett. All of the discussion has been about Kenny Pickett, and I would say about maybe 60 to 70% of people are kind of done with him. I will say, just throwing my hat out there, I literally have a Pitt sweatshirt on, Pitt helmet in the back, a Kenny Pickett jersey, right? I got all of that, but I will say, man, Mason, the way Mason can throw the ball, man. But we drafted Mason for this reason in the 4th round. Back in, what was that, 2017, 18 maybe? Like, there's a reason we took him. The physical raw talent has always been there. He's just had bad luck, really. He's had bad luck in subpar play at points, but the physical talent, like that was there. That was there to start. That was there at Oklahoma State. That was there when he was fucking throwing 10 touchdowns against Pitt that one day. I actually didn't know this, but Oklahoma State, like, played Pitt when Mason Rudolph was there, and then they smoked us, man. Like, I don't know if the score was crazy, but I know Mason had 5 touchdowns one time against Pitt. So yeah, I mean, there's that. And then James Washington, same thing. Like, they were a dynamic duo. Like, Mason, it's been so long since he's been able to, like, have successful football played, I think. It's been so long since, like, this dude's had 3 straight plays of, like, oh, we can put this on the highlight reel, It's been so long. And I will say, the story, man, it's getting me, man. It's really getting me. So we will have to see how this final, game plays out. We'll have to see how the playoffs play out because, we're going to make the playoffs. Mason, man, like, even with the best case scenario for me, and maybe I'm a hater, let me know if I'm a hater, guys, but the best case scenario for Mason Rudolph for me is, I mean, I guess we can just win the Super Bowl and he fucking plays fantastic. Like, that's probably best case scenario. But I say if he wins this game and then he wins this game, he plays well again. And, you know, if we end up losing and we don't make the playoffs, Mason is going to get a deal from somebody, man. And if we play well enough, if we look good enough, there is absolutely no reason why we shouldn't bring Mason Rudolph back, man. That is where we are at in life. Like, the two games have been amazing. Shot of Mason out of the running game, out of the offense as a whole. Really, like, and on top of this, too, like, Mason's numbers they're good. You look at his passer rating, you look at all that, you look at all that line graph shit, Mason is top. You know, he's absolutely playing out of his mind, right? But even last game against Seattle, I don't even think he had a throwing touchdown. It is just more about how we look as a whole on offense. As a whole, we've put up 30 points back-to-back games, man. And, you know, we haven't been able to do that with Kenny. We haven't been able to do that with Mitch. We haven't been able to do that with Big Ben outside of him calling the plays and hurry up offense, and we're already down 40, you know? Yeah, there was a lot of games too, and people will point to it. Look at me slandering Ben for some random reason, but Ben didn't like Mason too. Remember that, guys. All you Mason Rudolph fans, Ben hated Mason. So throwing that out there. But anyway, there were a lot of points where the Steelers would just get down like 20, let's say 20, 21, 3 touchdowns, and then all of a sudden Ben would be like, yeah, fuck this. I'm running my own shit. And we'd be able to eat that way. But in terms of like in the system, in terms of like, you know, we're actually calling these plays as a whole team and not just Ben like, yeah, do it, you know, and not just Ben doing that. Like, it's been so long since this has happened. And I think that's going to sway some people. I think maybe that'll sway the Steelers front office into trying to give Mason another deal. However, given how, you know, Mason has been treated, given the context of how, you know, his play has gone, his career has gone on the Steelers. If I'm Mason, no bullshit, I'm out of here if I get a contract from somebody else, man. I am deuces Steelers. Because, you know, he tried, like, we released him last year. We didn't re-sign him. We were like, yeah, go be free, go sign somewhere else. And I don't know if he didn't get a contract or what, but he didn't end up signing somewhere else, and we brought him back. And you know, we replaced him with Mitch. We drafted Kenny. He kind of went down due to injury, due to Duck, but I really do think he, at one point in the 2019 season, actually got benched for Duck. That happened. The Earl Thomas thing happened. The Myles Garrett thing happened. He tied the Lions happened. Like, there were so many negative things that these 3 games, or these 2 games, possibly 3 games, possibly more games, shout out to the playoffs, that these 2-3 games, like, I think it is just enough. It is just enough for Mason to get out there, have a team look at him, maybe New England, maybe New Orleans or something. I don't know. Just another team look at him and risk that contract, man. Oakland, that's crazy. They haven't been in Oakland in 100 years. Vegas is the team I'm thinking of. Maybe he goes there. Denver, you know, maybe they're in on Russ. They're not in on Russ. Maybe they're in on Mason Rudolph. There's a lot of teams that could potentially use a quarterback, and there's a lot of teams who maybe could use a quarterback to duke it out with somebody else. Not only us, but, you know, other teams as well. Because, you know, giving Mason a max contract, your quarterback won off of 2 games, possibly 3, possibly a playoff run. You know, it happened for Nick Foles, big gunshot there. It happened for Nick Foles, so maybe. But to me, it's still a little nuts for Mason to get a deal like that. But he for sure can get something. He for sure can get on another roster by the end of this season. And at the beginning of this season, didn't think that was a possibility. At the beginning of the season, he literally couldn't get on another roster, you know? And I don't know that to be true. I don't know if he got a contract and turned it down or whatever. Not trying to slander. Just, you know, how the situation to me has been portrayed. So we will see what ends up happening. Anyways, guys, I think that is going to do it for me for this video. I apologize if this was kind of ranty. This was kind of all over the place. But some, you know, just some, yeah, I like... You know, I can't even be like, oh, if we do this, then this is going to happen, because we potentially only have one more game to play, man. Like, everything that, you know, has to go right, everything that, like, okay, if we do this, we're a good team, we do that, we're a good team, we need to make this change. Like, we have to be there now. You know, we have to be at that point now. And I don't want to call anything early. I don't want to jinx it, but Baltimore is resting. Baltimore, you know, Arthur Millette is not playing for Baltimore, guys. So, like, I really think we have a chance to win this game. And so we got to take care of our business, and then we just hope other people take care of business. We will pray, we will manifest it, we will think positive thoughts, and hopefully, the Steelers will be in the playoffs. Anyways, as I said, that is going to do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment. What do you think about this current state of the Steelers? What do you think about Mason Rudolph? Is he your quarterback one? Should we bring him back on a max deal or should we let him go? Are you guys still in on Kenny Pickett, man? I shouldn't even ask that because this is about to be a bunch of Kenny Stinks comments. Are you guys still in on Tomlin? Remember a few weeks ago it was fire Tomlin. You know, I don't want to spark, grievances or whatever, but it's Tomlin crowd. Where are you guys at, man? Another winning season. So it is what it is. Anyways, peace out. See you Saturday. Big Steelers W. Predict. I ain't fucking, man. We're big Steelers W on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we're going to have a big Titans W. And the Steelers are going to be in the playoffs. Write it down. Zaya said it first. Peace out. Banger.